This is actually my 300th video, and I was going to do something on why numbers are illusions and even throw logic in there, but I'll save that for a couple videos from now and focus on what we've been doing with the self-illusion from the workbook. So the workbook has all these practices and exercises where you help seeing through illusions similar to the self-illusion. And once you get good at that, then it really does help with the self-illusion, because the illusion I'm going to talk about today, it's normalized. You grew up with it. So it becomes very difficult to imagine a world without it, just like the self. And we're going to talk about ownership today, the illusion of ownership, because it's absolutely an illusion. As a challenge, I'll put it out to you, prove to me that ownership exists, because it doesn't exist in any other way than a mental fiction. And you say, well, how do you know that? Well, as an exercise, become conscious of it. I mean, like, you can become conscious of the different objects around you, but can you become conscious of ownership? And yes, you could show some paperwork. Why do I own this guitar or this house? And I can show you the paperwork. But that's just symbols on a piece of paper. They're completely meaningless. They don't show ownership. They just substantiate it. They reinforce the collective hallucination. And so it clearly doesn't exist, but it's been around us for such a long time that can you, as a challenge, as a practice today, spend some time today imagining the world without ownership? What would it be like when you go out and you get into a car, why is it your car? And you could say, well, I paid the bills. Well, that's just part of the collective hallucination. It's just like, we have this exchange and you do certain things and that somehow you own the car. No, that's just a collective agreement. It has nothing to do with it, because you can do other things and you can win the lottery and suddenly you own this huge house, but you didn't work for it. So clearly ownership has nothing to do with how hard you've worked. And there are people out there who own nothing, which is just as illusory as someone who owns something, because none of us can actually own anything in reality. We can only own things in the collective hallucination. So make that a practice today. Go around, get in your car, and just, to me, it's a very strange feeling. Like, why can I get into this car and no one says anything? If I got into any other car, there'd be all kinds of problems. But you get into this car and it's fine. And I could pick up a guitar, and for some reason, the rest of the world buys into this strange notion that I somehow own it, as if there could even be an I to own anything.